Hey guys, welcome back. So this is episode 2. Yeah, in this video I'll just be discussing coming to Korea and then the differences between Hagwons and public school. I haven't taught at public school, but I know more or less what it's like. So I'll be explaining those two. So let's get it. So to teach on the EPIC program, again, I'll put a link to GOLDENKEY at the bottom. So GOLDENKEY, they like the best EPIC recruiters at the moment. So to teach on the EPIC program, you need to be a citizen where English is a primary language. So these are Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, the United States, or South Africa. Okay. You need to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree with an accredited university. So any bachelor's, if you do not have a teaching or B.Ed or M.Ed, then you need to do a TESL or TEFL course. Again, I will put a link to a website where you can do a TEFL course at the bottom. So then if you don't have a degree in education, you can just do a TEFL course. You can do a full online course, but it has to be a minimum of 100 hours. You have to do a minimum online course of 100 hours. And then you have to be mentally and physically healthy. You have to have good command of the English language and have the ability or willingness to adapt to Korean culture and life. You also have to be, I think the minimum age, the max age is 65. So you have to be between, I think it's like 25 and 65. And that's for the EPIC program. That's for all. That's for EPIC. Okay. So EPIC, the main thing is the B.Ed and the TEFL. You need to have that to apply to EPIC. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, this is also on GOLDENKEY's website. Then they have the TALK program. So the TALK program is like a mini program. It's not as long as, or not as hectic as the EPIC. So where you can go with, if you just have a certificate, or like if you were at Cape Peninsula University of Technology, or you weren't at a university, but you still want to teach, you can go through the TALK program. So EPIC is for degrees, and the TALK program is for those who don't have degrees. If you have a diploma, you can go through the TALK program. Again, I will put GOLDENKEY's website at the bottom, and then you guys can apply and look for the eligibility and look for the eligibility there. If you guys do want to pursue the EPIC program or TALK program, remember those are public school streams. Those are not your private institute or private school stream. Those are your public school stream. Those are managed by the government. The program is managed by the government, so they're a lot more stricter. There's a lot more documents that you need to approve. You need to have, and that needs to be approved. You need to have like 3 recommendations as well on your EPIC program when you do your application. And then you also need to know how to plan lessons. So you need to have that lesson planning ability for your EPIC program's application. Because now on the application, you have to submit a two-page lesson plan or something like that as well. So that's to get on to the EPIC program. So Hagwons. Hagwons are private institutes in Korea. So like back home in South Africa, we have extra maths classes, those extra maths. Those are what like Hagwons are. So Hagwons are like private English institutes. There are thousands of them, guys. They are all over. Like where I work, there are 4 in the same block. So Hagwons are the easiest way to get into Korea. EPIC is the hardest, right? So EPIC and public school is the hardest. Hagwons are the easiest way to get into Korea. Most job applications, when you do apply through recruiters and stuff like that, are for Hagwons. Okay, or for Hagwons. Again, I will put the recruiters I used, I'll put at the bottom, and they were really decent. They were really good. The company was really well organized. So yeah, so to get into a Hagwon, you also just need any degree, any bachelor's degree, being able to speak English, and then decent command of the English language. But you do not need a TEFL. You don't need a TEFL. You can have, if you have one, it's beneficial for you, but they don't ask you for your TEFL. They will ask you when you apply if you have one or not. But I know a couple people that have come through without needing a TEFL, and then they do their 2 years, and then you're qualified as a TEFL. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's what it's like with Hagwons. Also, there's a split in Hagwons. So you have Hagwons that teach kindergarten, and you have Hagwons that teach elementary and middle school. So kindergarten Hagwons. Kindergartens are your 4, 5, 7 max year old kids, and then elementary to middle school, that's from age 7 to 13. I teach at a Hagwon that is elementary and middle school. Okay, so teaching, so you get to choose. You get to choose when you apply to Hagwons. The recruiters will always ask you, what are your preferences? Do you like to work in the mornings, or do you like to work in the afternoons? And that's what happens. So then they base their searches for you based on what you want. Also, Hagwons are a bit tougher. You don't have as much breaks as the Epic people do. Epic people, they get like school holidays in winter and summer. And with Hagwons, we get like 10 days throughout the year, and that includes a little bit of summer vacation and a little bit of winter vacation. Okay, so you get 10 days throughout the year to Hagwon, and then Epic just has a lot more, but they work different hours. They work different hours in the week, type of thing. So they have like more classes that they teach, whereas Hagwons, you set in whatever class schedule you have. So you get assigned a class schedule, and you are set in that class schedule from whatever time you choose. So you will normally work, like we work from 1 till 9. So every day, it's every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we work from 1 till 9. Whereas some Epics, they work from 9 in the morning till like 6 in the afternoon. And then with the Hagwons that choose kindergarten, they also work from 9 in the morning till about 6 in the afternoon. So that's normal daily hours. So that's Hagwons and Epic. But Hagwons, again, there's a split between kindergarteners, or teaching kids, and that's early in the day, that's normal working hours, 9 to 5s, and then teaching elementary and middle school, which is your afternoon classes from 1 till about 9 p.m. at night. So that's Hagwons. So now you've heard about Hagwons, and you've heard about public school, you've heard about public school or Epic program. So now you need to decide which one you're going to go to, and you need to apply. But before you apply, you need to have certain documents ready before you even contact a recruiter. Because the process from contacting a recruiter to getting interviews is really quick. It normally takes about 2 weeks to a month, and then they want you in Korea like 2 months after that, 2 weeks after that. So what you want to do is you want to have your documents ready beforehand, and these are the documents that you need to have ready. So first, you need to have police clearance, a police clearance certificate. This needs to be at least 6 months. Okay, your police clearance certificate is only valid for 6 months. So you need to have that done. That normally takes about 3 weeks to get. So you need to go to a police office and ask them to get a police clearance. This then also needs to get authenticated or apostilled. Okay. Same with your university degree. You need to have a university degree authenticated and apostilled. And I know now they don't do it through DERCO, so you have to do it through SECA, and they charge a fee. They charge about, it's supposed to be 250 Rand, but we've heard people being charged like 650 Rand, close to 1,000 Rand for that getting done via SECA. It used to be a free service through DERCO, but now you have to go through SECA. So you need police clearance, and your university degree needs to go and get apostled. Okay, so you need to have apostles done of your university degree and your police clearance. Then you also need university transcripts. They need 3 copies of your university transcripts, and they need to be sealed in the envelopes. So what you can do, or what I did, I just went to UWC and I asked them, please give me transcripts and put it in a envelope for me, and then they put a stamp on it, and that's it. And then you don't touch it. That you send straight to the school when the recruiters want you. And then what else? I'm just checking everything. You need a health certificate, and you need to have a passport. If you don't have a passport, it's going to be hard for you to leave the country or get your visa. Because once you have all these documents, so that's your police clearance, your university degree, which are both apostilled, and your transcripts and your passport with photos, that all then gets sent to Korea. Not your passport, that gets sent to Korea, and then they will send you your authentication letter, or your authentication number, and this then gets sent with your passport up to the embassy, the Korean embassy in South Africa, and then they put your visa in your passport. That's how it works. Right? It's a long process. It normally takes about 2 weeks to have all that. Once you have your documents, it takes like a week, 2 weeks to get your visa approved, and then they, because your stuff need to be approved in Korea first before you can send it to the embassy. So that normally takes about 2 weeks. I did leave the people I used below. I used DocAssist to do all my stuff dealing with DERCO. I had to go through DERCO. I didn't need to do SECA. SECA was from March this year. They implemented the whole SECA thing where your stuff can't go through DERCO to get apostled. They need to get through SECA for verification of your results and of your university degree and stuff like that. It's not through DERCO anymore. So yeah, so that's the only major snag. So that whole process you need to have done before you start contacting recruiters. So what I did, I waited till I got my police clearance. Once I had my police clearance, I started contacting recruiters. And then once I started contacting recruiters, I sent everything else up to Pretoria and then got it back. But now, because of the SECA thing, it normally they say it takes about 20 business days. So rather get your police clearance and your SECA done first, and then contact your recruiters. Or if in the process, if you know you're a week in to that process, start contacting recruiters, and then you can decide where you want to go and what you want to do, and you can start applying. So that's the biggest snag of this whole thing. That's the process that takes the longest, and it's gonna cost you about 5,000 Rand all in all. Just keep that in mind. You need to budget that. People think it's just free. You need to budget that. So just keep about 5,000, 6,000 Rand as a budget to have all your documents sent up, because it's expensive. You have to use a proper courier. You can't just post it. So you need to have those set up. So keep about 6,000, 5,000, 6,000 Rand. Keep that set aside so you don't end up in a ditch when it needs to be done. So I hope that really helps, because this is like the biggest snag in the whole process of coming to Korea. And I really hope you guys get that sorted. Yeah guys, so that's Epic and Hagwons. Again, because of COVID restrictions, it's a lot harder to get into Korea now. So there's people aren't hiring that much because people can't travel in. You must remember, in Korea and stuff, if you come in, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and now the government doesn't pay for that, so you need to have money to pay for your own quarantine, and it costs about, they tell you to have about 2 million won if you are coming over to be able to quarantine yourself. So you need to come in. So saving money is hard. So saving money is a big thing to come in. Also, it's not as easy. A lot of people think, hey, we're gonna come over and you're gonna get paid that first month. Normally you get paid the next week after your first month, so you work a month and then get paid in the next week. It's just something to bear in mind. So don't just think, hey, I'm gonna get money now. You need to save up money and then come over, and then save money while you're working, because that first month is really tough. So yeah, that's just Epic and Hagwons. Like again, it's luck of the draw of where you get and who you get. I'm very lucky to have a really cool company. I work for a really cool company. My recruiter was really good. So sometimes you do hear bad stories and stuff like that, but just if something doesn't seem right, always just check or ask someone to check for you. I remember like when I applied, I asked my colleague to check my application. I asked my parents to check my application, make sure everything is fine, make sure that the contract they gave me, make sure everything is okay. If something seems a bit out, you can always just tell them, hey, this isn't right, I don't like this, can you change this, can you change that, and then they'll try and make adjustments for you. So don't be scared, don't be naive about it, don't think, hey, I just want to get out and I'm just going to accept every answer. Please check your contracts. A lot of people don't read the contracts promptly, and then they come over and they not happy with the situation they are in, and then they want to leave, and then they get penalized and stuff like that. So really just check your contracts when you do apply. Make sure, or ask someone else to check your contract for you to make sure everything is okay. So that's everything on Epic or the public school versus Hagwons. So that's the end of this episode or this video. The next one will be on life in Korea and what it's like being in Korea. As I said, I do not stay in Seoul. So this is coming from someone that doesn't stay in Seoul. A lot of videos are on Seoul and life in Seoul. So don't let me do one as someone not being in Seoul, that's in a different city, and what it's like being in this city. So again, thank you guys for staying here. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. Again, please like the video and leave some comments. If you want any more information, you can leave comments. I'll be more than willing to answer any questions you might have. If I can. If I can't answer your question, I'll try and guide you to somewhere that can give you an answer. I think that's just the scientist in me. So yeah, the next video will be on life in Korea. Again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Cheers guys. Hope you have an awesome day. Bye.